to report exactly what I saw. I did it to the best of my abilities.
Counterpoint?
Honest as I can be. Yes.
Counterpoint?
Yeah.
You know, Bill, I think you're right in saying that people have made too much of this, okay? It's not the Yalta Summit. You're not Churchill. Kid Rock is not Stalin. Trump sure shit isn't FDR, okay? So, yes, I believe too much has been made about this, but I think you've fallen into the trap. I think that I represent 99% of the internet when I say this, is that you've played the game of proximity is principle. And what people are worried about is not your motivation. We believe you. We love you, Bill. Everybody loves Bill, right? So I'm not questioning your motivation. I'm questioning Trump's, okay? And if we can say that you went there in good faith, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't there in good faith. I mean, you sold him on the Iran deal and he took it in. I mean, give me a break, okay? So the idea here is that your motivation is sound, but what's the impact? And I think a lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have to patronize me, dude.
Okay.
I don't know you. I never met you.
I'm just saying that this comes from
not
a place
everybody
of
has
love.
to like it.
And you just said so measured, so gracious, and I know that was a slam on Bill Maher. Which,
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I spent a good half an hour yesterday ranting about
Oh, good. I can't
Bill
wait. I'm going
Maher's-
to listen today.
reaction to his visit to the White House. Look, I understand wanting to talk to your political enemies. In fact, I said on my show yesterday, if the White House invited me there to sit down and have dinner with Donald Trump, I would go. I would have that conversation. You know what I wouldn't do? I wouldn't get on TV or my podcast or your show the next day, Stephanie, and say, oh, yeah, this maniac who's just indiscriminately deporting people and sending them to torture chambers in other countries and tearing down the fabric of our government, destabilizing the world economy. Yeah, that guy's measured and gracious and self-aware. He's like Glinda the Good Witch. That's one of the things Maher was saying.
This is where we part ways. I would not go because I'd have to bring so much Gallagher tarp because I would just be vomiting continuously.
But therein lies the difference between Bill Maher and Gretchen Whitmer.
Yeah.
You know, Gretchen
well,
Whitmer's
she runs a state.
Exactly. She needs stuff from
emergency help, and also she didn't know she was being invited to a
Right.
photo op for this latest illegal executive order targeting American
and
citizens.
she didn't brag afterwards. Oh, you know what? He's actually a nice guy.
I actually like that she held up her clipboard. It's like, oh God, I'm not here.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those situations where I was already at a place where I was disillusioned and disgusted with Bill Maher and some of the things he's been saying about trans people and being his anti-woke thing was just
his Islamophobic
a bunch of, I get First Amendment rights, but you in the audience don't get First Amendment rights. I'm the only one who's allowed to talk.
Yeah.
But then this comes along and it makes me think, oh my God, on top of everything else, he's just a colossal sucker. For falling for this act in the White House.
Yes, he's such a useful idiot. He just fell for the worst timeshare salesman ever again.
Right.
So, you know, he would say exactly what he's saying.
When you're selling a timeshare, you flatter the person that you're trying to sell it to. That's exactly what Trump did.
This war criminal felon monster. Right? Like, do not normalize or try to humanize him in any way. Can I say I'm obsessed with Chris Titus lately? Chris, if you're listening, please come on the show. But he... this was perfect.
We reached out.
Okay, this is perfect. I sent this to Frangela Bob, but he said comics punch up. This is like the whole theme of the Sexy Liberal Tour. Comics punch up. When you see comics like Joe Rogan and Bill Maher licking the of a fascist oligarch, they stop being comics. They're sycophants, ass kissers, protecting what they have. They are the farthest thing from rebels. Twain, Hicks, Carlin, Williams, Pryor, Bruce, Carey. This is who you're supposed to be. Comics are a social barometer. Back to Kings. A check on evil and power, not a fucking infomercial for it. Maher and Rogan are just a ShamWow commercial for a poll.
Which one is Vince?
Exactly right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I would have a little bit more respect for Bill Maher if he had actually said, you know what, one of the reasons I'm reacting this way is because I'm terrified.
Right.
I'm terrified this guy is going to audit me or disappear me to El Salvador.
Even if Joe and Mika has said that. For the same thing.
Yeah.
Just be honest. I'm scared and whatever. But no, it's like, oh, I wanted to go take the measure of the man. Like, really? Like, you haven't known him for 30 years already.
Right. Well, the fact of the matter is, Bill, we're all waiting for the other shoe to drop. All of us who have public voices and have our names on our social media accounts and things like that, we're all waiting for that other thing to happen, that next stage in the ongoing persecution of anyone who's mean to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So you're not alone, Bill Maher, in your fear, if that is in fact the case, and I believe that it is. What other reason would he have to just so effusively praise the world's most obvious con man. That's what I don't understand. It's so clear and incontrovertible that Donald Trump is just a relentless con man who's now, advancing toward 80 years old with decades worth of experience doing this, snowing people, manipulating them into doing what he wants them to do. On top of the fact that he's just a gigantic coward. I'm talking about Donald Trump. Because he will not confront people one-on-one in private. That's why first term, he was sending everyone else out to do all those firings. Remember Rachel Maddow with the big screen behind her and all the names and the faces of all the people who had been fired from the administration. He didn't fire a single one of those people. He sent someone else to do it because he's a coward one-on-one.
Bob, which is brings me to my point full circle of getting you in trouble about Bernie.
Oh, no.
Oh, good.
No, it's just that this is part of it's the both sides do it ism of Bill Maher, of the Bill Mahers of the world that have gotten us here. Like the both sides are equally bad, no, blah, blah. And that's what I'm saying about Bernie. I appreciate what he's doing, but it's like you've got to vote for Democrats. I mean, the best way you could do that is become a Democrat like AOC, because that's what I'm saying. A lot of things that people Bella's age are frustrated about, they need to turn out to vote to get us the margins to get that stuff, to get universal health care, all the stuff you and I have been screaming about forever. So, all. That's been my only problem with Bernie is that, he was there to sign every great thing Joe Biden did, and take credit for it. And then the minute they lost, he's bashing Democrats again. Like, Democrats got to stand up for the working people. What do you think Joe Biden's done every day of his life? Like, that just wasn't fair to me. And so that's all I'm saying is I'm glad that he's out there connecting with people, and people are obviously frustrated, but then you've got to vote for Democrats. You've got to turn out. Both sides don't effing do it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you reverse what is happening, that kind of idea, like, okay, well, maybe abandon the Democratic Party and become an independent or whatever, like Bernie. Imagine that on the Republican side. Imagine how much we would be cheering a split in the Republican Party, where Republican leadership suddenly goes, hey, you know what, don't identify as a Republican anymore, become an independent, and we're going to divide the party in half and make sure we never win another election. Because whatever percentage that we have, 48 and 49%, we're going to split that in two so that the Republican Party only gets 25% and we get the other 24.
Thank you. It's like Carlos.
Madness.
Carlos says it every week too. He was a Bernie voter in the primary. This isn't a knock on Bernie voters to say, read the Mueller report, read the Republican-led Senate Intelligence report. The whole point of 2016 was to peel off enough Bernie voters to vote for Jill Stein or stay home or vote for Trump, and it worked. And that's all what I'm warning of. Even the Jill Stein's margins in 2024 made the difference, right? And so I just
the key here is combine Bernie's ideas as far as policy, as far as anti-oligarchy and so forth, with political unity and cohesion.
But you got to get
building. You want to build groups of people, and you don't want to divide people.
You've got to get enough Democrats in to execute Bernie's ideas, and we all love Bernie's ideas. No one's ever said that, right. But I just thought magically full circle, because you mentioned Rachel Maddow to 2016. Someone said if you saw Rachel Maddow, you saw a terrified IT whistleblower who claims Doge opened a gateway to the Department of Energy for the Russians. That's where all the nuclear secrets are stored. God help America. Well,
oh God,
this is all this is what 2016 wrought us. We have literally a Russian asset in the White House. I mean, it's just
several.
More
than one for sure.
Absolutely.
And,
it's like can't swing a dead cat without hitting a rapist or a drunk either. But anyway, that's a story for.
It's funny how that has fallen so far on the list. The fact that Russia just has, and Putin has, it's so vastly infiltrated the Republican side and specifically the White House.
Bob,
there are so many other atrocities that's now, number 12, 13 on the list of concerns?
Bob, that's a show we could host if we survive this whole thing. Rapist, drunk, or Russian asset. Right? I think that's
right.
Paper, scissors, rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Bob and we could have, you know what? We could have gotten Wink Martindale, but we lost Wink Martindale.
We lost Wink Martindale yesterday.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So sad.
in America, personal religious beliefs should be just that, personal. But today, Christian nationalism is on the rise, threatening separation of church and state. Laws are being passed based on religious doctrine instead of reason, eroding our rights and freedoms in legislatures, public schools, even in courtrooms. One set of religious beliefs is being forced onto everyone else, but that's not what our founders intended. The Freedom from Religion Foundation is fighting back as the nation's leading group of free thinkers working to keep religion out of government. FFRF protects your right to think for yourself, whether you've always been secular, left religion behind, or simply believe in true religious freedom for everyone. If we don't stand up now, we may lose our religious freedoms. Join FFRF in defending our secular constitution and keeping faith a personal choice, not a government mandate. Visit ffrf.us/freedom to learn more, become a member, or text my last name Miller to 511-511, because in a truly free country, no one's faith should dictate everyone's future. Text Miller to 511-511 today.